Duke, I'm liking it. I think it's gonna work. Programmed it using the computer, using like a drum programming, and then I figured out how to transcribe it to a circle, and I just did it visually. I just gridded out a circle and then just mapped out a map of like 2 measures, which is what all this is. If you notice, the bass drums are all going boom, 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 but the big one is getting turned off every now and then, but it does it differently every time. So it emphasizes, but it's like a heartbeat. It fluctuates. It's never like the same thing coming in. Oh yeah. I've been working on this really hard for over a year. I don't care if it's the hallway. Put it in the basement, you know what I mean? Just let people see this shit. Turntable, which is scratching right now, is actually hooked up into this space in between these 2 holes. So as this paper drifts to the left or to the right, it allows that space in between to sort of capture one of the notes to the left or the right of it. The main ingredient is air. It's bellows supplied by a vacuum pump and a release valve. Each hole sort of releases the release valve and allows suction to happen in the bellows. And then when the bellows close, the idea is like a painting. A painting is a drum. It's a membrane stretched over a frame. I just sort of ran with that idea. I dig all the little imperfections, And this is full of them. It's like, I don't know when I'm going to stop calling this piece a work in progress, because it's got a long way to go. But I hope it's never finished or perfect. This idea from sort of the central part of my show that I'm doing in September is driven from turntables. The tree will sort of function as a table for the turntable, and the rings of a tree are like the grooves of a record. So the turntable will be sort of coming out of the rings at the center of the tree, and then the little platter, like the slip mat, will have some sort of reference to like the rings of the tree, and then there'll be clear vinyl on top of that. I love city trees, like, cause the roots always look different to me than they do out in the country. They're kind of like confined by the cobblestones and concrete around them. This shit's just got some magic to it, man. It just came together. I knew it needed like a plate on the front of it to house all the gear. What I wanted to do was expensive. This is official. The gear is not Radio Shack. I want it to be like a radio, It's LL. These knobs I found on the street on an old homemade stereo system that this dude made that had its own label. And it said, redesigned by Gus, like tweeters by Gus, and it was like G-U-S-S, it was like some fucking, I'm the man. Some fucking Myrtle Street, Brooklyn sound system from the 70s, that was like sitting in somebody's basement for like 30 years and then found its way to the sidewalk just as I'm doing this, and I was like, I'm housing those knobs. I like the natural tones of these things almost better. These aren't tuned in any way. They're just found. It's like a found object. Okay, here's this one. You can scratch it. That's why I did it. Well, it's like kind of like what's going on in the world right now, you know. It's like I said, it's like when Tom and Jerry smell something burning in the kitchen, you know, and you got that smoke cloud goes through the screen, and they're all like, that's really what this is, you know. But I'm not talking about one thing, you know. It's just these are the things that like you can't help but hear because they're in the paper every day, you know. I don't even like try and involve myself in anything. It's too heavily political, but how can you help it? You know, it's like, how can you paint anything else and be honest? You know, it's like you have to. This is what's happening, man. You know, just tapping into it.